And today we're getting real because so many of you guys think failure is the end of the world. Oh my god, I'm such a failure. I must lay down and die. Honey, I am living proof right here. It's me. Because guess what? I failed out of my first pharmacy school. And ding ding ding. That failure is the reason why I am a pharmacist today. Yes, I know. I know. It's so embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. And I had to face all the people that you went to school with that you failed. Yes, honey, I failed. But I am right back where I had to be. We had a little detour, an extra student debt, but it's okay. All right, let's get back to it. So picture this. In my early 20s, I was very stressed. At pharmacy school, just pushing, pushing, pushing. Exams are hitting me left, right, up, down in places I didn't even know could hurt. Okay? Yes, that's where I was with pharmacy school. And it eventually caught up to me. I remember opening that email that I was dismissed from the program. It's the worst feeling because now I'm like, how am I supposed to tell my family? A family that have doctorate degrees, and I also went to a school that my family went to. Oh, what a disgrace. Oh no, so sad. Well, guess what? That didn't stop me. And you guys need to learn that just because you fail, it doesn't mean you yourself, you're a failure. No, you just failed at the event of making it to graduation and passing pharmacy school. But whatever. So then there comes that moment where you're fully immersed in that dark feeling of being so depressed and questioning, oh my god, I'm stupid. That's why I couldn't make it. I'm not smart enough. Everybody was right. It was way too hard for me. Oh, you should have just went to cosmetology school. I don't need to go to cosmetology school. I already know how to do certain stuff. And I don't need to be a pro at it. I just need to make it look good. And that's not where my heart is. I actively wanted some type of like medical degree. But I didn't want to be hands-on with people. I didn't want to be so close to people. I wanted to be in the medical field, but not direct patient contact. So I was thinking, oh, pharmacy is great for me, right? I mean, of course it is. And in my dark season, I was so embarrassed, like watching people that I became friends with, like move on in the program, and then, in enough time, they got to graduation. And for me, the decision that I made for myself was, am I ready to get back into it, or do I want to just accept it and try something new? That's great too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I knew I wanted to have my pharmacy degree. And that was the goal I set forth for myself. So I told myself, I'm going to get it. And that was when the whole change happened. And just remember, when you get back up and try at something, you might get rejected again. You might fail. You might fail to get into 3 programs out of the 8 that you applied for. But it doesn't end there. It only ends when you choose to stop trying. And I want you guys to always try. So the first thing you need to do to overcome your failure is to evaluate, why did it happen? So I had to ask myself, why did I fail out of the program? And I had to accept the truth. The truth was that I didn't study the way I should have. I thought I could cram everything in like undergrad. You could just cram it in like the night before. No. That exam smacked me upside the back of my head. And that shit hurt. It's like someone took like a whole textbook, like a 300-page like textbook, and like whacked you in the head with it. It was hard. Like, the truth was that I didn't take it seriously. I didn't study the way I should have. And I did that to myself. That was what I had to accept. And that is the hard truth. And another thing is that I had to understand my behavior pattern. Like, what was I doing? I was putting importance in other things that I really shouldn't have. Like, oh, attending that party when I'm behind in studying, or oh, I really have to go to that birthday party because that's my friend group. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not even friends with them. I had to understand what I was doing wrong. And the truth is that I didn't study and give myself enough time to actually study before the exam. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't have boundaries, and I attended events that I shouldn't have when I was clearly behind. I should have taken that time and put it into studying. And that's how I told myself, if I were to do this again, what am I going to do differently? I have to be willing to say no to certain things that are not priority. Yeah, it may be like a really good friend, but is that friend going to be there when I fail the class and, let's say, fail out of the program again? Is that friend going to pay my student loans? No. So that's the boundary that I had to accept and evaluate the whole situation and come up with a different game plan, okay? Now, second is, what did I write here? Okay. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that. So separating failure. Just because you failed at getting to graduation, it doesn't mean you're a failure as a person. Yeah, you failed an event. You failed at a program, and everybody that you're friends with went on to graduation and took their cute little off pictures. Okay, whatever. You didn't make it. But I didn't fail as a person. Like, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not garbage. I should just be thrown away. No. You have to separate that. And just know that in life, we are going to fail at many things. But you have to keep going. That's just part of your testimony. You didn't make it to graduation. But it doesn't mean you're a failure. Now get over it. Okay? Alright. Third thing. Okay. Which is, it was actually very hard for me because I found myself doing it even though I'm teaching it now. So you have to build self-trust with yourself. Excuse me, Grace, and go away. You have to build self-trust with yourself and stop comparing your journey to somebody else's journey. Like, my chapter 2 is obviously totally different from someone's chapter 48, right? But it was hard because I remember when I got into the second program, like the second pharmacy school, as I was starting, the people from my first pharmacy school, they were heading towards graduation. So, of course, it's so easy to say, oh, don't compare. It's a natural thing, but just know when to stop yourself. Like, yes, that thought could come up, but then just say, it's okay. It just wasn't my time to graduate. I had a lot more learning to do. I had to evaluate myself. I had to understand what kind of person I am. And I had to learn to build my own boundaries. Maybe pharmacy school was just the first step in learning to say no. And that was the confidence that I started building to the person that I am today. So don't do that, okay? Don't compare because it really is very hard to break out of. But remember, small baby steps is most important. Okay, 4. Don't just do it again like, oh, I'm going to do pharmacy school again. No, do it differently, honey. Because we could do it again and we do the same things, but it's still going to be the same outcome. You have to do it differently for a different result. It's like that saying, it's like insanity is doing the same thing, hoping for a different result or something like that, right? No, honey, you have to do it differently. So then for me, when I was in the second program and now pushing through it, and I told myself, Grayson, no, baby. So I told myself, a few things need to change. I need to have a different mindset. I need to understand what's priority and what's not. And I have to set my boundaries, be disciplined. If I know I need 4 hours just to study this one chapter, I need to be disciplined enough to give myself the 4 hours to get through that chapter. I'm not going to say, all right, an hour and 42 minutes is enough. No, it's not enough. I actively need 4 hours. So I need to put 4 hours into it. So remember, when you're doing it differently, assess your mindset. Understand what your boundaries are for yourself and for other people. And to be disciplined, to stay on your path. Make sure you do not deviate from that, okay? And finally, we got to the last step. Number 5 is remembering your why. So I remember asking myself, and mind you, when I went to the second pharmacy program, I actually moved to a completely different state. I didn't have any friends there. I didn't have any pharmacy. I was completely by myself. But I kept reminding myself, like, I am doing this because I know that I want a medical degree. Like, I want that knowledge and that background to keep with myself. Grayson, stop it. Stop. I wanted that knowledge to take with me through life. I feel like it's such an important tool that I can have in my pocket. Like, who wouldn't want to understand the world of medicine and just be able to understand, oh, I'm feeling this way. I know if I could, what I should take and why that will help. And also, of course, like stability. As a pharmacist, you do make comfortable income. And I wanted to be stable. I wanted to know that if anything, I could always take care of myself. I could rely on my degree. So that was my why. And every time things got hard, I was feeling down. And I'm like, oh my God, could I really make it? And I was like, yeah, remember why you're doing it. And that was what really helped me overcome the failure that I had. And especially coming from my family with doctorate degrees, they're just like, oh my God, like so embarrassing now. Everybody's cutting now. Well, guess what? Everybody knows. So get over it. So let me leave you with this. If you think that you failed, honey, it's actually a good thing. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you're growing, you're learning, you have the fight inside you to not stop. And that's you telling yourself and committing to yourself and keeping that promise that your story is not over. As long as you make that comeback and as long as you're true to yourself, that's the best plot twist you could show the world. And hey, look at me. 2 pharmacy programs later, and taking the board exam 3 times, but it's okay, honey. I passed and I'm a pharmacist now. So if I can do it, just know that you could do it. And don't let anybody stop you or deter you from deter. Whatever that word is. But you get it, okay? Just make sure you keep pushing. Because sometimes people might want to push you in the wrong direction because they actively are jealous of you. And we ain't got time for that. So they gotta go over there. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy. I think my mask is actually dry now, so I can wash it off because skincare is important. Good night. I love you guys. Until the next video. Bye guys. Make sure you subscribe, okay?